In this story, you can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn over the page when you hear this. Let's begin now. The Big Dipper. Jesse Mott, an ex-motorcycle cop injured in the line of duty, now a police troubleshooter, has been recruited for a top-secret government mission to ride Street Hawk, an all-terrain attack motorcycle designed to fight urban crime, capable of incredible speeds of 300 miles an hour and immense firepower. Only one man, Federal Agent Norman Tuttle, knows Jesse Mott's true identity. The man, the machine, Street Hawk. It is high season, and the amusement park is doing the best business of the year. The warm weather has brought out a record number of people, all intent on having a good time. But now it is closing time. One by one, the bright lights on the various rides are dimmed, and the park seems silent and deserted in comparison with the noise and bustle of but a short time before. The concessionaires add up the day's take before carrying it over to the Central Security Office for checking and depositing in the master safe. George Meadows, the owner of the Big Dipper, releases his staff for the night.
Okay, guys, you better be off home and get some shut-eye. If this weather holds, we'll be hard at it again tomorrow. I'll close up the shop.
His helpers go off into the night, and Meadows puts the money collected during the day into a bag. He chuckles to himself.
Trouble with having the most popular ride on the site. The money bag gets so heavy, but such a worry I can stand.
He switches off the light and locks the tiny office. The outline of the Big Dipper towers over everything, silhouetted against the night sky. Meadows is the last to arrive at the security office. He is greeted by the girl cashier.
Hi, George. Last again.
Afraid so, Marilyn.
Well, that's the penalty you pay for being so successful. Takes you longer to count your money.
They both laugh, and George humps the money bag onto the girl's desk.
I'll be happier when this is safely locked away.
The door bursts open, and a masked man appears in the doorway, covering them with a pistol.
Guess you're gonna stay unhappy, sucker. All that money's coming with me. Open the safe, sister.
At Street Hawk Control, Norman sits at the computer console watching the monitors. Jesse, all kitted out, apart from his helmet, does a few exercises.
Everything still quiet?
Yeah, so far. I would have thought...
Suddenly, Norman breaks off and concentrates on the screen. He taps out several keys in rapid succession.
I thought so.
In a moment, Jesse is by his side.
What is it?
According to the police network, there's a raid on the cache at the amusement park.
Jesse picks up his helmet.
I'm on my way.
Norman stops him.
Hang on, Jesse. They don't need you this time. They've been after the guy who's pulling this hold up for some time.
Yeah, and he's always got away.
Well, this time it looks like it's gonna be different. The police have guessed right, and they've got the place staked out. They won't need any help from us tonight.
Back at the amusement park, the masked gunman spins round as he hears a voice amplified through a bullhorn.
Okay, big guy. This is the police. We know you're in there. Throw down your gun and come out with your hands on your head.
The eyes of the gunman glint evilly through his mask.
No way, cops. There's a little lady and a guy in here with me. Now you wouldn't want anything to happen to them, would you? I'm coming out, and they're coming with me.
At Street Hawk Control, Norman is patched into the police communications.
Looks like they need you after all, Jesse.
A moment later, Jesse is astride the powerful motorcycle. The engine roars into life, and the exit door rolls back. Street Hawk leaps from its hiding place and races towards the amusement park. Jesse hears the voice of Norman over the helmet speakers.
I'll update you as I get the information, Jesse. The gunman has got the girl cashier and the owner of the Big Dipper at gunpoint. He's taken them out of the security office, and he's walking with them through the park. Police are following at a safe distance. I I think the quicker you get there, the better. Switching to hyperthrust. 4, 3, 2, 1.
When the music stops, turn the cassette over.
Through the deserted streets, the black machine thunders on its way. The buildings rush past Jesse's eyes, barely visible as the speed increases. 200, 250, 275. At 300 miles per hour, the figures projected onto his visor steady and acceleration ceases. It seems but a moment before the bike begins to slow as it nears its destination. Once more, Norman's voice crackles over the radio.
The gunman has taken his 2 hostages to the Big Dipper. The police have surrounded it and they're trying to talk him into giving himself up.
But the gunman has other ideas. He ties the hands of his hostages and forces them into one of the cars of the Big Dipper. Then he goes to the controls and operates the elevator which takes the car to the starting point of the ride. High, high above the park and the besieging policemen, George Meadows and Marilyn sit in the Dipper car, perched on the edge of its first plunge. The gunman calls out to the police.
You see those 2 up there? If you don't bring me all the money from the security office and let me leave safely with it, I'm gonna set this ride in motion. Those 2 will have a free ride, but it'll be their last ride on anything, because I've broken the braking mechanism. So what's it to be?
The captain in charge of the police detail turns to one of his sharpshooters.
Can you see him? Can you take him out?
The man with the rifle nods.
Yeah, simple target. Now he's put his hostages up there out of the way. There's no fear of them getting hurt. You want I should shoot him?
I'll give him a warning first.
The captain picks up his bullhorn.
Listen to me, you in there. You're covered with rifles. My men are crack shots. You don't stand a chance. Here comes a warning shot just to show you.
He turns to his rifleman.
Right. I want him scared. Don't hit him, but a very near miss. Fire.
The policeman takes careful aim and fires. The bullet whistles past the gunman's cheek. It takes him by surprise, and he starts back and bumps against the starting switch of the Big Dipper. High up in the air at the beginning of the track, the car containing Meadows and Marilyn starts to move. Meadows screams out in alarm.
Do something! This thing's got no brakes!
Concealed in the shadows, Jesse switches on Street Hawk's engine.
It's up to you now, sweetheart.
He rides the bike up to the end of the track of the Big Dipper, and then rides along it in the opposite direction to the car. The captain cannot understand what is going on.
That fool Street Hawk! What's he doing? They'll collide! He'll meet that Dipper car head on!
The car is gathering speed and beginning to hurtle along the track. Its 2 occupants can do nothing to save themselves and are resigned to be smashed to death at the end of the ride. Jesse accelerates up the plunges and down the rises, getting ever closer to the runaway car. Norman's voice comes urgently over the speaker.
You're nearing the loop. You're not fast enough to take it. You'll get to the top and just fall straight down. Accelerate!
Jesse does so and zooms into the complete loop of track. He reaches the top, the watchers below hold their breath, and he continues right the way around.
Well done, Jesse. What do you intend to do now? Stop the car by running straight into it?
Jesse doesn't answer. He accelerates up a slope and launches the bike into the air. A groan goes up from the onlookers. The captain shakes his head.
He's blown it. When he hits the ground from that height, he'll dig his own grave.
But Jesse has no intention of hitting the ground. He lands the bike back on another part of the track, but now he is behind the runaway car. Once more, he accelerates and gradually begins to catch up with the car ahead of him. Now his speed is much greater than the car. He continues until he is right up with it and then briefly switches on vertical thrust. The bike leaps over the car and lands in front of it. Jesse slows until he is traveling at the same speed as the car and then continues to decelerate. and brings the car to rest at the end of the ride under perfect control. A cheer goes up from the gathered onlookers, but Jesse does not stay to take a bow. He notices the gunman trying to slip away on a motorcycle in the confusion. A quick burst from the particle beam, and the crook's bike is useless, and he gives up without a fight. The captain sighs. Once again, Street Hawk has saved the day, and the police still have no idea of his identity. Marilyn looks dazed but happy.
Oh, isn't he wonderful? I never thought I'd ever meet him. I wish I could have seen his face.
George Meadows watches as Street Hawk powers away into the distance.
Gee, I wish that guy would work for me. He makes the Wall of Death look like a kid's carousel.